In this episode of the podcast, we talk about when to back down in casting. Welcome to the How to Get on Reality TV podcast with Dan Giesling, where I answer your reality TV casting questions once a week. Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the next episode of the How to Get on Reality TV podcast. My name is Dan Giesling, and as always, I'm excited to be here answering your reality TV casting questions every single Monday. We have an interesting one today from a first-time applicant, and it's pretty exciting to hear his take on what's going on. But before we get into this question, I want to give you guys a heads up. I told you guys about it last week. Make sure to check out the Instagram account. It's going to start gaining some momentum here. I think it's another way to keep you on task and just keep you focused on what's most important. Even when casting for a particular show starts to slow down, there's always something, and I think it'll help out a lot of people, in particular when the casting season is closed. It's going to help a lot of people throughout the year when they can be working on their story and building their story, but may not have it in their forefront of their mind. I think it'll help in that way a lot more than people think. But you can check that out by going to Instagram.com/howtogetonrealitytv and follow there. I think this is a new follower here. That wasn't a follower. But anyways, so you can check that out by going to Instagram.com/howtogetonrealitytv. So without any further ado, let's jump in this week's question. It's a good one.
Hey Dan, how's it going? I want to start off, obviously, congratulations on the baby. Second off, thank you for continuing to do the podcast. I've been listening since a couple years before I was even eligible, and now that is my first year eligible, first time sending in an application. Now I have this problem, so I want to thank you for doing all that you do for us. So my problem is I sent in my application for a bunch of shows like you recommended to try to get experience in the casting process. So when I apply for the show that I really want to get on, I'd be more experienced, know how to tell my story a little bit better. So I got contacted by one of these shows I wasn't really interested in about a month ago. They made me redo my video. They said they loved it. They had me send in the long application and all that. And so now I'm waiting to hear back if I get into finals. And so I was just wondering, how far into the process should I go before I let them know that I'm not really interested to be on their show? Because I understand that the longer I keep them going, the more work it is for the casting associate. If I go out to finals, it's a lot of money they end up spending on me. I don't want to get too far into the process and end up getting blacklisted from all the shows because they're really angry with me. When do you think I should tell them about my true intentions, or should I at all? Should I tell them before I go out to finals, during finals? Should I go through the whole process before I tell them? I was just wondering what your thought process on that would be. So thanks a lot.
All right, so this is a great problem to have. By the way, thank you for the baby. Congratulations. For those of you guys that don't know, Chelsea and I are expecting our first kid. We're excited about that. So let's talk about this. So you've been listening to the podcast before you were even, we could either say 21, I'm assuming, which is awesome. And I want other people that may be in this position or in a similar position that thinks this may not apply to them to continue to listen, because here's someone that's been listening before they were even eligible to apply. They've clearly, he said he's listened to every podcast. He's clearly put himself in a position to be successful from the jump, from his first application. And I think that, as much as I'd like to take credit for that, I think it's more so on your execution. You've listened to this for a long time, which means you've probably been thinking about your story, and more importantly, you've been executing on that. Maybe you've been adding to your story by going out and doing some interesting things. But either way, I want to say, for your first audition video to get invited to whatever round you're in right now, to get past, the initial callback, that's phenomenal. So what you present is a good and really great problem. So he didn't reveal his name, so I don't necessarily want to throw it out there because it sounds like he may be in the mix. But anyways, so let's just call him Mr. X. Mr. X, so he's in the point where he's going to have to make a decision when he's going to reveal that he really doesn't want to be on the show. And here's my advice to you. You don't reveal it. Your whole point of applying for so many different shows is to gain as much experience as possible. That includes the finals. So, if you can go through the finals process, you're going to be nervous, and, go through that in its entirety. You don't have to tell them anything. You got to make it on the show first. When you get that call and says, hey, welcome to X show. We'd love to have you on. That's when you got to make a decision, and only then. I will say that it's going to be a hard decision when someone's, no matter what show you want to go on, if someone's offering you to go on a show, whether it's your first or second or even third thought, that's going to be hard to turn down. And it's something you may want to reconsider turning down, because those opportunities don't come around very often. But in terms of when you should reveal that you're just going through the casting process to gain experience, you never should. And even if you ultimately decide to turn them down, you don't have to give them any reason, in particular the fact that you were using the process to gain experience, because you got to think of it on the flip side. They don't owe you anything. They can drop you at the drop of a dime for no reason whatsoever. Maybe someone gets recruited and they take your spot, so you don't owe them anything. And I know some people will say, well, hey, Dan, that it may seem a little harsh, but it's the truth. Go through the process, gain the experience. You don't, okay, they fly you out. Of course that's a big deal, and you don't want them to waste money. But at the same time, it's what they're supposed to do. That's their job, is to find the best people. And for you, like I said, you never want to rule anything out until when someone presents you a golden ticket to go on a show. It's a hard thing to turn down. So don't necessarily reveal that. And when it comes to the point, let's say you do decide to turn down, hey, it's just not the right time. Something's going on with my family. I got to finish this. Whatever reason, you don't want to say that you were just kind of gaming the system to gain experience. You definitely don't want to do that. You're not going to get blacklisted if you give like a legitimate, on the surface level response, because you could make up anything. Hey, it's just not the right time for me. It's not a right fit. Thank you for the opportunity. Maybe next year. How would you like to flip the tables on them when you get the call and said, hey, you're not a great fit for this year's cast? How many people get that call? What about if you flip it on them and say, hey, I don't think you're a right fit for me this year? That'd be hilarious. But you don't want to be in a cocky way, but it's I guess as this podcast goes on, things get turned up a little bit. This casting game's the freaking dog-eat-dog thing. Like I said, they'll drop you in a heartbeat, and you owe them absolutely nothing. If when you step out, guess what? They're going to fill your spot just like that. They're not going to have a tough time whatsoever. And that's not to, downplay any of your success in casting, but that's just how it is. It's a machine. One person drops out. That's why they have alternates. And it's even before that. It's not like you're going through, so you go to finals, then they take you out for the final sequester, then you bail. You definitely don't want to go. You want to get out before sequester for whatever show it is. But at the same time, take it for what it's worth. Go through the process. You never know what's going to happen. But don't feel bad about going through the process and then pulling out if it's not the right fit. If it's not the right fit, it's not the right fit. Don't feel any bones about that. But I do want to stress to you that for you to take all this information and put it into action and get some success in your first apply, on your first try, I hope that validates for you that, you're on the right track and you have what it takes to get cast on reality TV. And I want to congratulate you. And as a small thank you for submitting your question on the show, I'm going to send you a free digital copy of my story, How a Normal Guy Got Cast on Reality TV, Mr. X. And if you want your question answered on the podcast, you can go to howtogetonrealitytv.net/ask and submit your question there through the voicemail app. You can do it from your web browser. You can do it from your phone. It's really easy to do. And make sure you submit your question. I know things for certain shows are wrapping up now, but now's a great time to even start to submit some case studies, your individual story that may have failed, or you may not know why it failed. Not only questions, submit your stories so we can critique those and help you through that way as well. But anyways, thank you guys so much. More particular, Mr. X, thanks for the question, and it's much appreciated. All right, so as we wrap up this episode of How to Get on Reality TV podcast, I want to thank you guys for tuning in and week out. Make sure to check out the Instagram account at instagram.com/howtogetonrealitytv. It's going to help you throughout the off-season in casting or in-season, depending on what network and what show you're currently applying for. So make sure to check that out at on instagram.com/howtogetonrealitytv. But yeah, thank you guys for continuing to submit great questions like you are. It makes the show go forward. And without your guys' questions, there is no show. So continue to submit those. But thank you guys so much for listening, watching through whatever medium you choose. And I will see you guys next Monday. Have a great one.